Hello, I'm Mark Davenport, and I'm with
me. I'm Heidi Harald.
Yes.
And you are here again in the Wisdom Factory, and in the series relationships, which we had called "Stop the RelationshiT." Grow your relations. And today we are in the very last session of our interviews. And next week we will have a rich panel and to talk all about what we have heard and what people want to share still.
A rich panel? You mean they're all wealthy?
I don't know if they are wealthy, but many people are coming.
That sense of rich. Okay. Well, then we can be there too. Okay. All right.
Okay, the first part of this series, for who has not seen it, was about intimate relationships. And the second part, more about business relationships. And now, for the conclusion of our series, we bring both together. And we have invited Harald and Ulrike, Harald Kastner, Ulrike Haiden, who are a conscious business couple, and they will be talking about walking the purpose way as a conscious business couple. So let's say hello.
Hello, Heidi. Hello, Mark. I'm Harald.
Hello, Heidi. And hello, Mark. It's so good to see you again.
Yeah. Harald and Ulrike are in Austria, in Vienna, and we met them in the German-speaking integral conference last year.
Right.
And we did already a show together. So
we drank beer together.
And we drank beer together. Yeah, it was
so the
very
relationship
exciting.
got off to a good start. Yes.
So before we present them, we should still say something about us. That we are counselors and coaches, and we love integral theory and Ken Wilber. And actually, we will be present in the next European Integral Conference in Hungary in a month.
Yes.
It's about a month. And as you see, we are really so excited about integral, and we want to bring it to you in the sense that you get inspired to open to this worldview, which can explain so many things which you hadn't known before. And in the whole series, we have invited people who are operating inside this integral worldview.
That's right.
Oh, and we should say all the replays, in case you missed it, the replays you will find here, www.bit.ly/Wisdom Factory. And the whole series, inclusive the after blab shows, will be $29. And that's for the whole year, membership for the whole year. So please hurry up and get all these wonderful episodes we have already done.
Yes.
Exactly. So now you...
Can I say something else?
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
Please present Ulrike and Harald.
Ulrike Haiden and Harald Kastner have been a married couple and entrepreneurial team since 1999. That's stability. Wow. They've been following their shared guiding star that connects their individual guiding stars. And formation of their guiding stars over time has kept their relationship sound. And I'm sure they'll tell us more about that. Their meaning and their purpose-driven mission is to help spirited people create the life they want. They are founders and owners of Integrale Praxis in Vienna, Austria, board members of the International Coach Federation, the Austrian chapter. We're both board members of the Austrian Association for Career Guidance and Educational Counseling, and Harald is president to date. Together, they combine more than 50 years of training and coaching experience in their work with their clients. They work with businesses, youth and adult education, and in their private practice. So co-creative living and working was important for them from the outset. Being life and business consultants, they were well equipped for this venture. But matching qualifications alone, a business couple or any co-creative team, what is needed They say in a co-creative process are individual guiding stars, touch points of the individual guiding stars, shared meaning and purpose, commitment and practice. This is how a thriving cooperation grows. So we have plenty of questions from that to ask. Yeah.
So it sounds wonderful and a little bit, how do you say, abstract. So I would like to come down to real life and ask you, since 1999, have you worked together before, or were you a couple before and then decided to work together?
Okay.
Who starts? So I shall start. Well, we fell in love on a New Year's Eve in 1997 to 1998, right? And we decided to live together very quickly. Only 3 or 4 months after that, we found the place where we still are. And we decided from the beginning that that should be a place where we could live and work, right? Though the work then was different than what we do now. Yeah. And only a year later, we married in the same month, and we founded our business in the same month. So everything went very quickly.
So it was from the beginning, it was very much combined.
Yep.
Yep.
And I have to say, it was not clear to us what we will do, but it was clear to us that we want to do. And the first year of our relationship was, how should I say, was a finding part, what we can do together, what we are interested in, what are our individual guiding stars, what is leading Ulrike, what is leading me. And in March 99, both marriage and foundation of our company took place. And since then, we are working together. And living together, of course.
Well, that not only have you been married for a long time and working together for a long time, but as an American, what impresses me is that you've been living in the same place all that time, which is remarkable considering the habits of moving around the country that I'm used to. So anyway, that's quite a story. It must have been a very interesting time, you know, putting your life together and putting your life work together. But you talk about these individual guiding stars that you have. So how does that work? I mean, because you're not identical people, you know, you probably have some, yeah. How does that individual guiding star business fit into the working together?
Yeah, it's a matter of being. So what's your soul? What have you been all your life, and what are you going to be all your life? You can't manipulate. Well, you can manipulate it, but it's not healthy to do so. So I was always into being creative and finding good structures for the creativeness. That's been the case for all my work I've ever done, or that's where I get into the flow, right? And that's it doesn't matter if I teach, if I paint, if I learn languages. It's just being creative, and an important part is also to be with people, right? So that everything gets co-creative and lively. And that was an essence I could tell, and that's Harald loved about me from the beginning. So,
because for me, I have to say, I work creative as well. Creative work was part of my life since my childhood, and the second driving power behind me was exploration. I'm explorer, and I shared this social interest as well with Ulrike, and so in common we had creative work and social work, and clarifying the situation led us directly to working together. And the first time we felt the matching, it was not possible to
language it, perhaps?
No, to describe it precisely, but the story behind you told us what's about in living in the same place for 19, 20, 22 years. We had a session in a coffee shop, and we found this place right here over a newspaper. We saw it. It was a industrial area. It is an industrial area. But we saw the possibilities right here. And we draw down a plan. Went to an architect and told him, we want that building, that floor, exactly this size, this place, this form. We planned an office in 99. We planned in 98, sorry. We planned the office, we planned our living area within this floor, and we created it within 4 to 5 months. Till
Wow.
August.
So
You seem to have had a very clear idea of what you wanted to do and how to go about it, so that you could just. That's not our experience, is it?
no, ours is different.
No,
but
right.
I'm really curious about this thing because you said you were very clear that you wanted to be together and do that together. I think most people, when they meet somebody and they fall in love, they think it will hold forever, And then after a year or two, they find out maybe. So when you have created a business together, how does it change something, or does it, did you think about it, that it can influence the relationship in one way, or the relationship, the business, for instance, when you are grumpy with each other and angry, and how can you work together?
Yeah. I think there are a few things to overcome in the beginning too. I grew up with a mindset where I had to rely on myself very much, right? And it took me a while to give in to that feeling. Oh, it will be okay, and I can trust, and we'll sort that out together, no matter how it goes. And that wasn't the way I was educated. The way I was educated was more look that you are safe and do everything that you are safe. So it was a risk to be taken in the beginning. But I also felt it's the only way to live love, right? So my version of love, it's not everybody's version of love, but to explore that topic to the fullest, I felt we had to live and to work together.
So the whole life shared, and not only a piece of it.
Yeah. And that maybe is an important part that I was longing for, an integrated lifestyle, right? I didn't want to leave my husband to go to a workplace I couldn't identify with and work for someone else. We wanted our own thing, right?
Heidi, you mentioned that the way from meaning to purpose to mission is something abstract to you. I will tell you vice versa. Most people start with mission. If you see someone, you can see what he is trying to do. He wants to influence. He wants to make you to do, for instance. But not everybody is willing to show what is behind that, what is driving him or her. And one of our qualities from the very beginning was to see into one's soul, to see in each other's soul. To have us right at the point of meaning, what we want to be. Not what we want to do, what we want to be. And every time in the way since then, if we had our problems, we had our troubles, we had our cornerstones or our marks on our way, it was a reminder that we have to sit down and say, what is inside you? What is really behind that, what you are doing now? What is driving you? And what do you want to be right now?
Yeah, and in one of these crises, we learned one exercise we can recommend other co-creators. That's a teacher who has accompanied us for quite a while, and he said, well, sit down in meditation, that's what you do anyway, but do something different after that meditation. Take your time, 10 minutes each partner, and just listen to your partner for 10 minutes. When he comes out of meditation, just listen to him for 10 minutes, and then take a short pause and just tell him what you understood. Don't ask or interpret it, but just tell him what you understood, right? And then it goes the other way around, right? So then the other tells you what he has understood of what you said. And the experience with that short exercise, it only needs an hour a week. The experience is that it carries you through the week. You stay close, right? And you stay in contact with each other's being.
And just to listen without commanding is an exercise we are not using.
Sure.
And even
Yeah, talking about
what you've heard, you are not allowed to
talking about.
You can only tell your partner what you've heard, not what you're thinking about it. And then you go each way, not talking about over the whole week. Just taking that with you, what you've experienced in this session. And what is making with you inside.
Yeah, this is learning how to listen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I think this is for couples and for friends and for business people too. Business people normally write down the things and then they sign it, which we call contract, you know. But I think this is a general thing we need to learn, everybody. Yeah, great.
Actually, we have been participating in an ongoing weekly series, which we not always participate in, but often, that is just about listening. Every week we have listened to a show that is about some aspect of listening.
Mm-hmm. So what I wanted to say, so you have found a practice which keeps you together as a couple, and this guarantees that you can work together in a good way. Is it so?
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned it, because it's really a practice we do before we do our business talk, right? It's not that we do the business talk before, but we do the practice for the couple before.
That makes sense.
So what I would like to know, a little bit like seeing what we are doing, you have really a structured business talk about, now you talk about this, Monday about this, Tuesday about this, Wednesday about this, or do you just, when you eat for dinner, then you talk about what is coming up? How do you do that?
We dream of that, of course. Yes, of course, we have a structure, and we have our meeting times as well. But being a couple as well as business partners, we have to be very concentrated, very clear that we don't mix in certain situations. And helpful, of course, is I'm going back to the to be. I have to know where she stands, and she has to know where I am at the moment.
So it must also be very clear where you are for yourself. So very clear you, yeah, and then no. So it's a constant feedback loop between you.
And there is
you mentioned
factor watching all the time, or we watch it all the time. It's not only about us, it's our purpose. And that's really the purpose why we are here, and what we want to do and what we want to create. And we also invite this purpose to our business talks. That might be a post-it or a sticky note where we write it on, and with check with this third point, are we really serving our evolutionary purpose with the talk we are having at the moment, or are we going adrift, or are we really aligned with this evolutionary purpose? Are we serving in the right way?
And of course, this is changing over the years. Working so closely could mislead us to we have once found a purpose, and the purpose is 12, 15 years behind us now, and we are living still the same way. No, we don't. So the purpose is still evolving, the meaning is still evolving, changing with time, and this intense work as couple, as business partners, give us the possibility to adapt that and to integrate it in our life.
Mm-hmm.
So do you find, and maybe you can't answer this, but I want to ask, do you find that being both partners in life as well as in business helps you, all things considered? Or would this be a detriment to some people, for example, where they might have to be just business, or it might just have to be just partners, husband and wife, for example? Do you have advice you can give to others about your experience?
Yeah, and I would also ask, what mindset do we need? What just to decide, oh, now we work together. So what needs to be clear?
First, if all variations are the best variation the partners can live, right? So every combination is fair. So being a married couple and working somewhere else is okay, or being just a business team is okay, and being both is okay. So, and it's just the way we chose to live. But if you choose that way of living, then both partners have to really want that, right? And none of them can only be drawn in or convinced, or then you get that sort of pulling and pushing, right? So they really
Are
have
you convinced?
to want it.
Sometimes I'm convinced. Yes. No, actually, we had. That was part of our initial agreement, that we would be working on something together. Unlike you, perhaps we weren't quite so clear about what the something was. I think you had a more direction in mind than I did.
But what I think what you are speaking to, and what I think is really needed, is a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
That you give each other a commitment to, that's what we want to do. And if it changes, Harald, you said it can change, yes, but you have to talk about it. And not one person goes, bang, right ahead, and the other is left behind somewhere, wants to do something else.
Well, stop doing bang then.
Yeah. But you have worked before with other people, probably. So is it easier to just, when you do a business, to work with people you are, as business partners or employees or bosses or something? Or is it easier to be a couple? Or a family, maybe extended?
Wow.
Wow.
I will try it. I will try it. I will. It's much more intense and satisfying if it's going well and working. As we talked before, you need in any situation a touch to the partner, business partner as well as private partner, or both in our case. So I don't think that working with people in a company is much easier. What will be easier in a company is that you can leave in the evening and say, okay, all the bullshit behind me, RelationshiT behind me, and okay, I'm going to the next pub and see you tomorrow, but I don't hope so. This kind of reaction is not possible if we are so closely working and living together, but it's not a prison. If someone of us two is talking about, I need an art time, I need a break, I have to go, I need the time for myself, we can separate without losing the touch. Mm-hmm. I think that's the art of working and living together. To be able to separate for some time, but being in touch as well.
Yeah, and considering outside relationships in work, there are different kinds of relationships depending on the people you work with, right? There are people you can talk about meaning, purpose, and their mission, and then you can get close to and can have wonderful projects together. But there can be other experiences with external partners too, and we have them and we have to integrate them too, that are very functional partnerships, right? Where you cooperate with institutions, for instance. You have to respect the values of the institution and the people they attract, and you can still live your mission there, but you have to language it differently for other people, right? And you have to respect that there is a different distance between people. Then it doesn't go that closely, right?
You are talking about values.
Yep.
And this sounds very much like integral theory.
Integral? What's that?
And also the language, finding the right language to talk to people. Could you talk a little bit about that and your background in integral and how you use it for your work?
Yeah. We work with many different people. Harald works with apprentices, for instance. I work with skilled workers. We work with business owners. Yeah, and there you have to use different languages. And still we serve our mission, helping everyone we work with to create the lives they want. Right? But it's different if we help an apprentice or a school leaver to find their way, or if we talk to business owners or freelancers and they want to make their way.
Let's go into practice. About 3 years ago, I had this for about a year. I had some sessions with a woman which wanted to found a business in life consulting, and she did some educational work. She did some business work as well in the past, but she never had clear what she really should do, where she should go to, and people she were talking about, what she wanted to sell them, what she wanted to do with them, didn't react that way she wanted them to react. And first of all, if I talk to her about transformative work, that some people are on one level and another level with different languages to talk to them. Within 1 week, she had, for the same work proposition, she had 3 different papers in different languages. In this way, for structured social, for entrepreneurs, and for what was the third?
I was thinking of a different client. I'm afraid I can't help you at the moment.
I think it was a green name. Yeah, I think it was for green. And instantly, people reflected to them, to that writing down the business propositions, and she did some seminars about yoga with different clients from different origins, with different levels of, I would say, transformative position. And she started to live with this work. So the language you talk to people, the language you are using, is one of the main success factors in our work.
Well, Heidi amended it a little bit. My devilish question is, what level of language are you using when you're talking with us tonight? You know? And then she adjusted it to say something a little more gently about what language do you use when you're speaking to each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the devil is in the details there.
Yeah, and I would add this is one of the things we learn in integral theory, that we need to address the people really at the level where they are. And you bring the practical example that when you want to promote what you are doing, and you have to know who is in front of you and speak with the language they can understand.
Absolutely.
And not the language I would like to use. That's, by the way, I've learned from you. Came into my awareness when I did the course.
Yeah, for instance, a yoga trainer could offer very traditional lessons, or a program and language it in a very traditional style. That would mean that they'd tell which yoga teacher they had and how long yoga dates back, and all the traditional things, right? And they could also address very efficient people and sporty people, right? And they could do air yoga, for instance, or Bikram yoga, right? So, or yeah, very Ashtanga yoga, right? And they could report about the physical effects and about the health effects it has, right? And otherwise they could address a third group, and they could talk more about the community and the ceremony and the spiritual aspect of yoga, right? So, but nevertheless, all three types of clients could practice in the same group, but she'd have to adapt her language every time, right? And everyone would feel, she understands me, right? That's why I choose her.
And to answer the devil's questions Mark had, of course, if you have clients of different development state or development level, you should have been there as well in the past. So what the level is we are talking in, it depends on our day. Don't ask me in the morning. So maybe they're on red stage. so
yes. Before coffee, it's all red.
Before the coffee, of course, yes. But we have all kinds of stages of development stages in us. We had to prove on our way, I would say. And one of the markstones on our way to what we are today was to take a test to prove our stage of development.
Yeah, because we had one time when we didn't know if we wanted to go further together, right? And that was the opener for getting deeper with each other, but it could also have been that we split at that time, right? Because we were discussing in a blaming version, right? I'm more developed than you are, and you're, and you know that discussion, right? So it was not very pleasant. And a friend of ours knows Thomas Binder in the German-speaking world, and he does a test of developmental stages, such as Susan Cook-Reiter does in the English-speaking world, right? And yeah, luckily we found out we were on the same level, and we that
we're
really
compatible.
Yeah, we fitted, right? So yeah.
But Mark,
I take a shortcut here. I just let her think that she's more advanced than me. Forward, no problem. Yeah.
But at that time, I had a serious questions to Thomas Binder. How much difference does a relationship withstand in development stages, in development levels? And the answer was as clear as stated, half to maximum 1 level in difference. So if you had a green meme, green to yellow is okay. Green, if you think in spiral dynamic, green to
what's green, what's yellow. Not everyone knows what's green, what's yellow.
You explain it?
We can say people come to the integral conference in Hungary. There will be a course about spiral dynamics before by the founder of spiral dynamics, Dr. Don Beck. So come 3 days earlier and you can know that. And when you know spiral dynamics, which we call here with the colors are only placeholders. When you know about that, you really, it becomes so much clearer what is happening in the world and in relationships and everywhere.
And then if you come to the conference afterwards, you'll have to learn the Wilbur colors, which are different.
But it was interesting.
So we should clarify that. So yellow means integral thinking and
systemic thinking.
Systemic thinking. So integral thinking means that you are okay with all sorts of people and all developmental stages of people, and that you are also willing to integrate them in an appropriate way so that the whole system works, right? So that a social system, for instance, works. There will always be people on aggressive levels or they have to leave home, for instance. Youngsters, they have to leave home, so they need a certain sort of aggression to manage that. And that's good, that's okay. It would be worse if they stayed at home all their lives, right? And you told me a story about a Muslim woman who will unveil herself and leave her family to live a modern life, for instance, right? And all of these stages are okay.
Development itself, it's not a life purpose, but you are developing up to that state, up to that level. You need to. And if you are happy with success orientation and scientific orientation, and you can spend your whole life in this environment, why not? But if you want to integrate some social experience, you have to add the next step. If you want to experience the whole systemic life, you have to go further.
And we know we only develop when something hurts. And that can be an inner pain or a pain that arrives from the outside because things change, right?
Yeah, you gave us this example, no? That you had blaming, and this is a very normal mode in relationships. Why don't you do that? I told you 10 times. And when you are as a couple are doing business together, there's so much at stake. So yeah, it's better to to find a way, And when you're in the same level of development, you can be quite sure that you find an understanding. If you are not, that's one thing we want to teach in our relationship programs, that often relationships don't work out, not because you are bad people or the other one is bad or whoever, but because there are too many levels in between. And you literally, you literally speak like this, You cannot understand each other, so.
Right. Okay. We started with individual guiding stars and talked about that where the connection is, where the touch point of the guiding stars is, there your relationship can really grow, no matter whether private or business. But if you want to continue in business, then you'll have to find a shared purpose, right? So what we had as a shared purpose was being creative and doing something for the well-being of all creatures, right? That was very vague in the beginning, right? And from that shared purpose where everything is still vague, you have the being level and you also have the doing level, and there's a big field for discussion and getting to know each other much closer, because with that purpose I mentioned, we could have become doctors or scientists or coaches, as we have decided, right? Could also have been artists, right? But what kind of doing, what kind of profession, what field of activity do we choose, and what kind of people do we serve best in our community, right? Or what's at least the idea who we could serve best. And as the shared purpose is something that's still very theoretical and stiff and complex, you couldn't tell that people, they wouldn't listen, right? That's something for your interior work in your business. But once you have that, you can craft a company mission for your people, right? For your crowd, for your followers. And this really has to be in the language of your followers. And this company mission is like an umbrella, right? If you imagine an umbrella, you can stand beneath that umbrella and all the crowd around you can stand under a very big umbrella. And this company mission should allow you to resonate and to put more and more products or services underneath that company mission, under that umbrella. So the company mission can be fairly large, and the products beneath it and the services beneath it have to be very specific for your individual clients and for your community.
I will do a bridge between, we talked about different development levels and stages and the guiding star.
Yeah, there is a question, just a moment, from Margarita, the levels that are harming the lower levels. Can you speak to that? What about the levels that are harming the lower levels? Or I don't know what she means, but
something. Talking about hierarchy, perhaps?
Maybe.
Doing damage to.
Maybe the red level doing terrorist or something. I don't know if she means that.
It's not clear.
Yeah.
Basically, I think a level does not harm another level. There is always a positive aspect of a level and a negative aspect of a level. So I'm not sure what she means, right?
If she's thinking about it, if you go to the development levels, as stated by Spiral Dynamics or Ken Wilber or others, that in the traditional levels, you have a system from one extreme to the other, from purely violence to totally group-orientated, state-orientated, social-orientated, back to individual, egoistic, success, science-orientated, back to community-driven. But with the next level, the systemic level, you have to integrate all the stages you were going through all your life. You have to integrate your violence. You have to integrate your statefulness. You have to integrate your science interest. You have to integrate your community interest. Bring it to a whole together. And yes, there are breaks between each level. And so, if you want to say a more ego-centered level would harm a more group-centered level. Of course. I hope that's the question. But only to the point
There is no.
Well,
where you have to integrate all the levels, the stages you were going to in the past.
If it's the question of aggression, it can only be embraced by the next level. It can only be embraced by regulations, right, and by control. So in the direct contact, right?
We're having fun with two different computers here, giving us different signals. And we don't know when we're muted and when we're not.
I do. I'm the tech person.
I don't. You can hear me now. Great. Now listen up. Okay.
Anyway, we are almost at the end, and I really would like to give you the opportunity to speak about what your mission is and what you are bringing out into the world.
Yeah, mission is only a part of our life. If we have our meaning and purpose, and that's what we are working with our clients, as we're working with our business customers, find your meaning and purpose, then you have the chance, I say the chance, to define over what you love to do, what you are great at, what the community wants from you, and what nourishing place you can take in the community, you are allowed to create in the community, that you can define first your mission, you can define this is my passion, from the way what you are great at, what's my profession, and what does the community want from me. You will get orders. So for us, mission is only a part of all the system we are teaching, is all the system we are working with people. And our mission is that people can we help to create you. We help you create the life you want. That is what we are doing. That is what we are here for, the community. That is what we love to do, and what our community wants from us.
Yeah, and if we say how we do that and what exactly we do, then we could say that we provide an entirely holistic system of coaching and training that allows you to create a thriving life, a thriving career, and a thriving business. And you can do that by bringing your soul to your relationships and to your work. And our next program is a free webinar. The English title is How a Guiding Star Spurs Your Business. And basically it's about positioning, branding, co-creating. And there we'll also introduce our Conscious Business Lounge, which is a 6-week basic program for conscious entrepreneurs, and which can be followed by small group coaching, which we find is very effective because you can talk about business with like-minded people, and you still have experts to accompany you. And when you have done the 6 weeks program before, everything is easier. Everyone knows basically what we are talking about, and we can put the things we heard in theory and asked and had some insights about, we can put that into practice.
Yeah.
Why should people go to a couple instead of, there are so many single people out who are offering, I help you to find your life's purpose and stuff. Why should they go to you?
That's a good question. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Beside the male and the female view, which is obvious, we did that on our way ourselves. We experienced that in our life. We developed a system out of all the troubles and positive things we have experienced in our own work life. And we are now teaching that.
Yeah, and I think it's the life consultant's perspective and the entrepreneurial coach's perspective, which is represented in both of us. And we have developed a lot of strengths for co-creators, right? And many businesses are founded together now, or they work together in free relationships, not building a business together, but working on projects together, right? And we can help them find a good co-creative process.
So they will flourish on their way.
And probably you can also help with the problems which can arise, especially when people are a couple and create a business together because of your experience.
So we think there are a great number.
Okay, we are coming to an end, and we want to invite you in the audience to come to the after show plan in 15 minutes. I thank you very much, the viewers. Thank you to be here, and for you to have shared all this experience and this wonderful perspective, which is also relevant for us.
Yes, indeed.
With us.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you.
Pleasure with you.
Right.